What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So it is Saturday here at the NMCA race here at Martin, Michigan. Pretty packed house here, car show area, spectator parking, Gap Factory Garage G8. We are running in fast and in open comp today. They've already called one open comp. We opted out of that this morning because we're actually racing till 1:30 in the morning. On the last video that you guys saw, our night pass. So we loaded stuff up, went to bed, and then did all our maintenance stuff this morning. But if you haven't seen the first video, I'll tell you what we brought. We got my uncle driving this 69 L88 in the factory stock class. Ryan's got the 67 that you guys have seen him in. We've got the 67 here that you guys have seen us working a bunch on. We actually yesterday went within 1/100th of the class record. Weather is not looking good to improve on that this weekend right now. Maybe if we run in the evening tonight, we might be able to get that record. But right now I'm just happy with how it's running for the first time out. My mom's car is going, she went 980 last night. Now has a 514 cubic inch BES built big block Chevy in it, running in the fast class. And then my dad's been struggling a little bit with traction issues. He won a best of a 942, I believe. We're gonna get the cars ready and go out for our last fast qualifier. Qualifying for fast, and it is hot. I might have fixed an issue though. I was having a cutout issue, but I had a loose ground. I didn't think it was electrical because I couldn't see it in my log, but it's almost too hot to leave hard. See if that was the issue. I didn't check my tire pressures. In this case, the polygraph
problems. I'm on 936 at 146 for Jordan Pennington.
I forgot I'm driving a Corvette. You don't need to check tire pressure. Thank you. Ooh, a 36 in the heat. Open comp round one. So you win, you move on, you lose, you go home. My dial is a 985. I forgot that they averaged three passes together, and on one of my open comp passes I lifted, and then the other one I didn't even make a pass. So 985 is my dial. I found a loose battery cable, so I don't know if that is the problem of this cutting out. I don't believe that's the issue, but I'm gonna launch this thing very hard and hope it hooks and see if we fix that issue or not. I told the lady that I'm racing that I'm either gonna spin because I'm gonna launch it real hard, or it's gonna hook and I'm gonna blow my index out of the water and she's gonna move on to second round. So hopefully I don't accidentally win, because I'd like to not have to race open comp again tomorrow. But if I do go fast, it will count for fast qualifying. So this run does actually count for fast, which is why I'm going to leave hard and see what happens. Mainly because I have a bye tonight in first round, which it'll be late. Track will be cool, weather will be good, so that'll give me an idea of whether I can leave real hard tonight, possibly chase down that 931 record. nowhere. It is Sunday morning now. We did not get our pass last night. We went up to the staging lanes. We are actually one of the last classes to run. It was about midnight, which doesn't bother me personally because that means the weather is cooling off, the racetrack is tight, and usually cars run better at night than they do in the middle of the day. And I'm trying to go after that 931, and I was feeling really good last night. And as soon as we got up there, somebody oiled down the racetrack. They did a big wheelie, came down, hit the oil pan on the racetrack, and went the entire way down the racetrack off the return road, and yeah, oiled it down from about the 8th mile to the turnoff. They decided to call the night and clean up the racetrack and start this morning. So it is now noon, and they actually, if you heard in the background, just did the first burnout for today because it'd been raining all morning. So we got the 67 sitting here. I have an issue with the flex plate. It's got a bad spot in it where we had a starter go out earlier in the weekend. We had to change the starters. So I'm gonna have to have my buddy Chad follow me around with a breaker bar, because if I get on that spot, the car won't start. He's gonna have to spin the crank bolt, turn the flex plate a little bit, and then hopefully we can get the starter engaged and get the thing started. But being that we were a fast qualifier, we got a bye in first round. So I'm gonna kind of leave kind of hard. One issue we've got going on is yesterday when we had to change the starter, it tore up the flywheel, so there's a dead spot in this flywheel. So we got a breaker bar right here, and if it doesn't start, Chad's gonna have to bump the crankshaft. Hopefully we get good teeth and this old girl will start. The starter sounds like crap right now.
Corvette, 932, the dial in here. Can they get the 9-second pass out of it? 932 on a...
This weekend has been kind of screwy. So the last run that we made, there was some miscommunication, some confusion, and they thought that we were running a dial-in class. So they put on the boards our dial-in, which was our best qualifying run. So nobody was able to race heads up. People got head starts, and it was all messed up. So now we should be racing in the final, and since we didn't get to run last night, this is our first run of today. So we get another bye, I'm gonna try to leave actually somewhat hard and try to go after that record. The sun is not out. The racetrack should be kind of cool. It's not real hot, so hopefully it'll hook up and it'll leave, get after it, and go faster than that 931 with a 4 that we've been chasing all weekend.
Camera's on.
Holy cow. I'm sweating like crazy, but we made it. Tell my mom I'm going with her. Got screwed so many times this weekend, and I'm taking my bye along next to my mom's bye so this thing don't have to sit here and idle for forever. Woo! Come on! We're gonna get the record right here. Gloves on. Whoa, big deal. 930, 146 mile an hour. Literally 3 minutes after we put a starter on it. I put one on. I did not shut the starter's junk. I did not shut the car off in the staging lanes.
Jeez, good job. Good job.
I've never sweat so much in my life. Thank you.
I love you, Jordan.
Love you too.
Good job. 144.60.
Starter's junk. It had one. Yes, Chad is the reason we made it. We changed the starter on the ground right there. Cooled down a bit. I can actually talk now. I've rested. My arm's still hurt from putting the starter on, laying under that car. We actually pushed it back into this little ditch area that we got right here that it's sitting in right now. And Chad smashed his way under there, pulled the starter off, while I ripped the mounting plate off and twisted it so that this part is down. and we struggled. I about gave up, and he said screw that, and I kept going. And this is the starter we pulled off it. It spit the Bendix right out. This was laying on the ground. I was banging on the starter trying to get it to engage, and it wasn't happening. But we went 144 to the 60, 596 and 118 to the 8th, 118.98, almost 119, and then 930 with a 2 at 146.34. Like I said, the car ran from here, drove up to the staging lanes, idled in the staging lanes while I put all my crap on, and went down the racetrack and drove back and never got hot. So super happy with the car in that aspect, but super happy with the car with how it ran. And I don't know if that little love tap I gave it about 1,000 foot helped at all, but it's got a fully charged battery. She don't have one more start left in her, so everything worked out perfect. Even though I was pretty frustrated. Yeah, I just sucked it up, came back here and put a starter on it. I actually had given up and ridden up there to the staging lanes to watch the round, and then decided to come back and put that old starter on it and give it a shot. So we'll see what happens here in a little bit. I'll fill you guys in, and then we'll head up to the staging lanes here in a little bit for possibly our final round. I cranked it, it'll start, but the starter was hanging up. So I tried to put a shim on it. I got one on it, and we're just gonna tow it up, and however it starts, it starts. So if the starter's hanging up, we're sending it down the racetrack with the starter hanging up. Making noise. Didn't want it to hurt anything. We're gonna tow this thing back. It's making. All right, we are towing this old girl back because she's worked hard this weekend. She deserves a rest, and the starter that's on here is actually good, and I don't want to ruin it anymore. So no sense in driving it back with it dinging on the flex plate. Very proud of this thing. This thing's gone a handful of 930s all in a row. It's been very consistent unless I tried to do something different. Yeah, I'm super happy with it. All right, factory stock final. My Uncle Scott sporting the Horsepower Depot t-shirt versus Jim Keys in this Dodge Corvette. Jim's been racing for a very long time. Jim actually bought that car brand new and it's only got like, I believe 7,000 miles on it. Very cool car, cool dude.
Jim is our number 1 qualifier. Scott is our number 2 qualifier. Not a lot separate these two cars. Should be a really good race.
That's gonna wrap this video up, guys. I want to dedicate this video to Ed Keim and his family. Ed races with us almost everywhere we go. He's got the reddish orangish 69 L88 Corvette. We've actually driven Ed's car and won a few times when Ed's not here. Ed is a great friend to me and my family. His dad passed away last week and he wasn't able to make it. We tried to get Ed's car here. We had brake issues. Actually, my Uncle Scott was gonna drive it, and it is now a fast car. So he was gonna drive that, but instead he's driving the blue car that's actually in the finals that you actually already saw. But huge thanks to my parents. Huge thanks to my wife. She unfortunately can't make it to all the races. Not only that, I spend way more time in the garage than I should, and she lets me do it and doesn't give a fuss. So huge thank you to her. Huge thank you to Ryan. He pretty much wired this entire car when we were building it. I let him do his thing. Whatever Ryan wanted, whatever Ryan needed, he just had full control over it and he did an awesome job. Not only that, he just does an awesome job. Cook at TBM, they actually made us brakes just for this car and a couple other that we had. Next datum to us to get to an event earlier this year, and we unfortunately didn't make any passes, but huge thank you to Doug at TPM. This thing stops on a freaking dime, and I want to thank him. BES Racing Engines, we wouldn't have anything near as fast as they are without Tony, Richie, and all the guys at BES. They build us awesome engines. Not only awesome engines, reliable engines. We don't have problems that most people have with their engines. I mean, these things are just dead nuts reliable, and Tony builds top shelf, best of the best stuff. So huge thank you to National Parts Depot for sponsoring this deal for us. We probably wouldn't be able to come here if it weren't for them. They stepped in last year and we were actually sponsoring it ourselves. Corvette is a family-owned business, and Horsepower Depot, we were sponsoring the class ourselves, and it was nice for NPD to step in and help take care of some of that for us. Forgot the person that I'm wearing his t-shirt. Derek Griffin, one of my best friends since we were probably, heck, I don't know, 6 or 7 years old. He built me the shock setter on the front of the car. If it weren't for the shocks, the car would not have gone down the racetrack. So huge thanks to Derek. A ton of people I can list off, but I'd be here all day. Probably ought to wrap this thing up. You guys are probably tired of staring at me, listening to me talk. But anyways, that's gonna wrap this up. So thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.